Hello viewers, welcome now taking you through this tutorial for O-level mathematics. And in this video, we are going to go through the expected response for Senior 4 Math Pre-Mock for the year 2024. So this video is suitable for students right from Senior 1 up to Senior 4. So these are the papers we hope to upload. What is ticked means is already available on the platform. What is not yet ticked means will be uploaded with time. So this paper consisted of two sections. Section A had 2 items and were compulsory, and section B was supposed to choose. So because this is a revision, we shall do all. So item 1 says, in Chigalama village, there is a free rectangular piece of land whose length exceeds, note this word now, whose length exceeds the width by 7 units, and its area is 60 units squared. Okay. 3 farmers, Opio, Nekesa, and Wawire, contributed shillings 300,000, 500,000, and 700,000 respectively for seasonal farming. At the end of the season, they realized a profit, which is 1.25 times the total capital contribution. They decided that a third of the profit, not that word, a third of the profit was to be plowed back to the garden. Okay, 4/25 of the remainder would be kept for emergencies, and the rest to be shared in the ratio of their capital contribution. Task: help the 3 farmers to establish the dimensions of the land. And task B, establish the amount received by each partner that season. So here we shall start. They told us about the rectangular piece of land that the length exceeds the width by 7. So there we shall put some unknowns. So we shall let the width be x, meaning that the length will be x plus 7. But they told us area is 60, so area's length times width, which will be length is this and width is that. So when you multiply, you should get the area, which is 60. Open brackets to come up with that. Take everything on one side to come up with a quadratic equation. Then that can be solved by factorization. So look for 2 factors whose sum is 7 and product is negative 60. So those factors are negative 5 and 12. So next is to split the middle term. The middle term was 7, so you replace it with this. These are coming from the factors. Negative 5 and 12 are coming from these factors. The next is to factorize by grouping. Group these 2 and also group these 2. For this 2, it is x, which is common. For this, it is 12, which is common. Then this and this is common still, so remain with x plus 12, which is here. That means that either this is equal to 0 or this is equal to 0. For this equal to 0, x is negative 12. For this equal to 0, x is 5. But you don't have negative length, so we shall take the positive one. And that will be the dimension for the width. What about the length? So length will be x plus 7, which is 5 plus 7 to give you 12. And that's what they wanted. Then they wanted you to establish the amount received by each partner that season. So first of all, you need to get the total capital for each contributed this and that, so total will be 1.5 M. The total profit is 1.25. 1.25 in improper fraction is 5/4. 5/4 then times the total profit to give you that. Then they said some was to be plowed back into the land. So a third of the total profit, which is a third time was this, it gives you this, which will be plowed back. Then they talked about the remainder, so you have to get the remainder. The remainder will be this. So on that remainder, 4/12 was for emergency. The 4/12 times this gives you this, which is for emergency. Then the rest was shared. So what is remaining from this was shared. This is the amount which was shared. But it was shared in the ratio. So this was the marks for the slide. It was shared in the ratio of their contributions. So one was this, followed by that, followed by that. Ratio will now be 3:5:7. Therefore, total ratio is 15, meaning that amount shared by Opio will be 3/15 times this amount. To give you that, amount shared by Nekesa, 5/15 times this to give you that. Amount received by Wawile is 7/15 times that to give you that. And basically that is what they wanted. Then item 2 says a farmer has a rectangular farm whose endpoint markstones are at A, B, and C with those coordinates. He employed a surveyor to locate the position of his fourth markstone but failed. The farmer wishes to fence his entire farm using barbed wire and fencing poles placed 0.5 units from each other. Okay. He also wishes to construct a straight road connecting his house to markstone A and the borehole at markstone C. Okay. From the nearby hardware shop, one fencing pole costs shillings 5,000, and a roll of barbed wire that covers 4 units costs this. Note this word, covers 4 units, it costs that. Then task A, help the farmer to locate his fourth markstone. Task B, find the equation of the road and its distance. Task C, how much does the farmer need to buy the fencing material? So here we shall need a graph paper. Then we locate the coordinates x-axis and y-axis. Then we get a scale for the horizontal axis. So each 2 centimeters represents 5 units. Then also for the vertical axis, you get a scale where 2 centimeters represent 5 units. Okay, then next is to plot the coordinates A, B, and C. They told us that A is -15, 19, B is 19, 19, and C is 19, 1. So we shall come and locate A, which is -15, 19, -15, then you go to 19 to locate that point. Then B is 19, 19, 19, you go to 19 and locate that point. Then C is 19, 1, you locate it here. So when I join the 3 vertices, I come up with two sides of a rectangle. So the other sides, remember, rectangles have two opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. So when I draw this side parallel to this and equal in length, I'll stop here. Do the same there. That means that the fourth mark stone is at negative 15, 1. Then they talked about the straight road joining point A and C. So that is a straight road. And that is the coordinate for the fourth mark, which they wanted you to locate. So that are the scores: 2 marks for the axes, 3 marks for plotting A, B, and C, 1 mark for coordinates of D, and 1 mark for the straight road C. Then the next was the, task B. Let's go to task B. Task B was find the equation of the straight road and its distance. So equation of this straight road. We have 2 points already, point A and point C, so I can get the equation of a straight line given points A and C by equating gradients. So introduce a third point, which is variable, and that is xy. So when I use xy with this, I'll come up with this gradient. Then now this which are known, this and that, I'll come up with this gradient. Equate the two because it's a straight line. Cross multiply, simplify. This gives 18, this gives negative 16. Cross multiply. Here I simply reduce this, divide by 2 on both numerator and denominator, I'll come up with that. Then cross multiply this with this, this with this. So this negative, it is okay to put it anywhere. You can choose to put it on the numerator or on the denominator. So for my case, I put this negative on the numerator. That is why you see this with this gives you some negatives. Then you collect like terms, and that will be the equation they wanted. The next was they wanted the distance. Now distance on graph work can be got by 2 ways. One, but I'll give you the one which is easier. The other method could be getting this distance here and this, then you use Pythagoras theory to get this length. But because it's already on graph work, what you need is to measure. So get a ruler and measure distance from here to here in centimeters. Okay, then you remember the scale we used. 2 centimeters represents 5 units. So I'll come here and say 2 centimeters represent 5 units, implying that 1 centimeter represents 2.5 units. That when I measure the distance for the road using centimeters, I'll get 15.4 centimeters using a ruler, but I need to convert. Now in terms of scales, converting from big to small, from small to big, we multiply. So I was supposed to multiply by this to come up with the units they wanted. So that is the easiest way to measure lengths on graph paper. You need to be mindful of your scale. And also mindful of the graph paper you use, because some graph papers I came to realize that they are not standard. So what you need to do, first get a ruler and see the boxes on your graph paper you're using. Each box must have 1 centimeter, must be of length 1 centimeter. So that was task B. What about task C? Task C says, how much does the farmer need to buy the fencing material? Let's go back and see something about this fencing material. They told us from the nearby hardware shop, 1 fencing pole costs shillings 5,000, and a roll of barbed wire that covers 4 units costs shillings 150. So we need to get the amount total number of poles required and the total cost for the poles. Then also we get the quantity of barbed wire, the rolls of barbed wire to buy. So I'll come and say that length is this. Length is 13.6 centimeters. So convert to units to give you that. Then width is 7.2 centimeters. Convert to units to give you that. Therefore, perimeter will be, this is the formula for perimeter, substitute for length and width to get the perimeter in units. After getting the perimeter, perimeter means total length of the boundary. So after getting that total length, I can now easily get the total number of spaces between the poles, and later on, for a closed shape, I remember that total number of poles is equal to total number of spaces. So that means that I will need 208 poles to fence. Therefore, cost for each pole is 5,000, so total cost will now be 208 times 5,000 to give you 1.04. Now this is the cost for the poles bought. What about the rolls of barbed wire? We said each roll covers 4 units, so it means that total length of 104 divided by 4, you get the number of rolls needed. And each roll costs shillings 150,000, so the total cost will now be 3.9. That is the cost for the rolls bought and cost for the poles, so we need to add the two to get the total amount for the fencing materials, which will give us 4.94 M. And that is what they wanted. So we have been dealing with section A. Now shall start on section B. Section B is also divided further into two parts. There is part 1, which contains 2 items, item 3 and item 4. Then there's also part 2, which contains 2 more items, that is item 5 and item 6. So the rule is that you attempt 1 item from each part. But because this is a revision, we shall consider all the items. So item 3 now, it says at St. Denis Senior Secondary School, the house patron Gayaza House organized a party where they hosted 125 visitors, and they served them with sodas, which is S, Minute Maid, which is capital M, and water, which is represented by W. Among the visitors, 38 liked sodas. Those who like soda only are 3 more than those who like Minute Maid only. Okay. And those who like water only are 2 more than those who like Minute Maid only. Okay. 52 visitors didn't like any of the drinks. Other visitors liked the drinks as shown in the table below. So there's a table, soda and water, 16, Minute Maid and soda, 14, Minute Maid and water, 18. The house patron wanted to buy only the liked drinks from 3 shops, A, B, and C, with the following prices. This price of shop A, shop B, and shop C. Okay. Task A. Determine the number of visitors who liked all the 3 drinks. Task B. Help the house patron to find the number of drinks of each type that he should buy. And task C. What is the probability that a visitor picked at random liked at least 2 types of drinks? And task D. With a reason, advise the patron on which shop he should buy from. So this question begins with set theory, so that's why you should begin from. So set theory, we shall come, and that's the first thing to always do. 3 circles because there are 3 items: soda, Minute Maid, water. Then the box to show the universal. So universal, there were 125 visitors. Then there are those who liked soda, those who liked Minute Maid, and those who liked water. So they gave us the total for those who like soda, but the total for those who like Minute Maid and water, they didn't give them to us, so you leave a question mark. Then you go to something else. So here they said soda and water, they are 16. Soda, Minute Maid, 14. Minute Maid, water, they are 18. But they also said something here that about only, that those who like soda only are 3 more than those who like Minute Maid only. And those who like water only are 2 more than those who like Minute Maid only. So we shall come here and say that if X they like all and Y like Minute Maid only, it implies that those who like soda only are Y plus 3 and those who like water only are Y plus 2. Then those who didn't like any, they are 52, and those who like soda and water are 16, so you subtract those who like all. Same applies to this, 14 minus X, and this also 18 minus X. So basically that is what was given, and they asked for those who like all the 3 drinks. In other words, they want the value of X. So NS, for those who like soda only, we need to add all these ones. So to give you that, equal to 38. Collect like terms, this and this will cancel. Then this plus this is 19. 19 plus 14 is 33. So come up with that. Collect like terms further, this goes this side to come up with this as equation 1. Okay. Then also the universal of this is the whole of this, which is 38, plus this, and that, which gives you 125. Then collect like terms still, this with this is 2y, here it's just minus x, then this plus this plus this plus this gives you 110, then this is 125. Collect like terms further, take this one this side to come up with that. Then subtract the 2. Now these are 2 simultaneous equations. You can subtract the 2 to get the value of y. So y is 10. Decimals for this slide, squares for this slide. Okay. Then next, after getting y, we can now get the value of x, which is what they want. So from equation 1, we have that, substitute for y, then get the value of x. Therefore, those who like all the 3 drinks are 5 visitors. For task B, let me see what they said. Task B, they said, help the house patron to find the number of drinks of each type that he should buy. Okay, in other words, they want this. They want already this for sodas, he already knows, but this one he doesn't know, and this he doesn't know, so we need to get those values. So what we need to do, after getting the unknowns, it is advisable to redraw the Venn diagram and put there now the actual values. So 52, I already know it. Then I know that x was 5, so I put 5 here. Mean that here now it becomes 9, this becomes 11, and this becomes 13. Then I know that y is 10, so put 10 here. Here it was 10 plus 3 to give you 13, 10 plus 2 to give you 12. Now from there, I can now get these ones which they want, because when I add all these ones, I should get what is here. So let me add. Then also when I add all these ones, I should get what is here. So let's add. Okay, so basically that is what they wanted. So the house patron should buy 38 bottles of soda, 37 bottles of Minute Maid, and 41 bottles of water. Then task C says, what is the probability that a visitor picked at random liked at least 2 types of drinks? At least 2 means 2 or more. So for 2 or more, I have this, and that. So add all of them to get the numerator over the total, which is the universal set, to give you the probability they want. Okay, then that was task C. Task D, with a reason, advise the patron on which shop he should buy. So now I know the number of bottles of soda, the bottles of water I need, and the bottles of Minute Maid I need. So I'm going to check for all these shops and see which is favorable. So for shop A, total amount will be this for soda, this for Minute Maid, and this for water, and this was the cost for each, to give you a total of that 182,800. Then for shop B, the total will now become 183,400. So this is already off because this is smaller than this. What about shop C? Shop C, now the total will be 192. So this is also off, meaning that it is this which is cheaper. So the patron should buy from shop A since it has the least total costs of the drinks required. And that is what they wanted. So that was item 3. Now we shall go to item 4. Item 4 says, due to the poor performance in mathematics that was observed among learners, the school academic board came up with strategies to improve the performance. One of the strategies was to give a prize of shillings 100,000 to any learner who scores 70% or above in a topical test. And the other was to reteach the topic if the average class score was below 50%. When the test was given to the learners, the following were the scores out of 100 marks. Okay. Then task, using classes with equal class width of 10 marks and the lowest class having a class mark of 1%, help the board to determine Roman 1, the model mark in the test, Roman 2, whether the topic will be retaught or not. Give a reason for your answer. Roman 3, how much money it should prepare to give as prizes in total. And Roman 4, the probability that a student selected at random scored at least 60% in the test. So this is under statistics and particular grouped data. Now these buttons are, you should ignore them. they are just for me to easily tally, because here we need to tally. So for you, what you need is this table here. So you have marks. So you have to put all the marks from 1, because they said the class width of 10, that means 1 plus 9 to give you that. 11 plus 9, 11, this plus 9, plus 9, plus 9 to give you that, plus 9, plus 9, plus 9, like that. So we stopped at 80 because here we don't see anything beyond 80, we don't see any 90. The next are column for tally and also its corresponding frequency. So we shall start with all marks from 1 to 10. From 1 to 10 we have only 1, 2, 3. So you come and put a tally of 3 and the frequency of 3. The next will be from 11 to 20. Also we have 1, 2, 3. So you put a tally of 3 and the frequency of 3. Then 21 to 30 we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you put a tally of 6 and the frequency of 6. Then 31 to 40 we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you put a tally of 6 and frequency of 6. Then then 41 to 50 we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you need a tally of 8 and a frequency of 8. Then now 51 to 60, 1, 2, 3, 4. So put a tally of 4 and frequency of 4. Then 61 to 70, there are 3, so put there 3. And 71 to 80, there are 3 also, so put there 3. And this is the total. So when you add all this, you shall get a total of 36. Okay, now that we are done with tallying, we can now complete the table. So x means mid-mark. This plus this over 2, 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 and this plus this over 2. Okay, then next to get mean, we need a column of fx. So this times this, 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 this times that. Then we can get the total. Then we need cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency, so first write this. Then 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 6, 18. 18 plus 8, 26. 26 plus 4, 30. 30 plus 3, 33. 33 plus 3, 36. Then we shall need class boundaries. Class boundaries here, we shall add here plus 0.5 and here we shall say minus 0.5. So we can come up with that for this first class, second class, third class, fourth class, fifth class, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And that is it. So those were the marks for this tabulation. Now you can go to the tests. So one was about the model mark in the test. Model mark, we shall come and first get the model class. Model class means the class with the highest frequency. So if you look through that, you realize that 8 is the highest of these ones. So it becomes your model class. Now in the model class, we need to get the difference between this model frequency and pre-model frequency, which is 8 minus 6. Then also we need to get difference between the model frequency and the post-model frequency, which is 8 minus 4. So shall come here and say difference between model frequency and pre-model is that, model frequency and post-model is that, then the formula is that. So LM means lower class boundary of the model class. So in that case, lower class boundary is this 40.5. Then C means the class width, which was given the question, and it was 10. So I can come and substitute for LM for D1. Here I've used delta, but you can also use small d or capital D, whatever you prefer. Then substitute for C to get this, and that is the model mark they wanted. So it is okay to round off to a whole number if you prefer. Then task Roman 2, they said help the board to determine whether the topic will be retaught or not. So the condition for it being retaught is when the average score is below 50. So I need to get the average. So average, use the formula summation fx over summation f to give you 39.9444. So that means that the topic should be retaught because the average is below 50. The next task was to help the board to know how much it should prepare to give us prizes in total. So remember, they told us they give a prize for those who get 70 and above. So shall look for those who got 70 and above. So 70 and above, we shall come here and say they are 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 and each was to be given a prize of 100,000. Therefore, shall come and say that the number of students with at least 70 marks are 4, and each student receives 100,000. Therefore, 4 students will need a total of 400,000. And that's what the board should prepare. Then the next task, determine the probability that a student selected at random scored at least 60% in the test. At least means 60 or more. So 60 or more, they will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There will be 6, so I'll come here and say n is 6, therefore probability is that over the total to give you 1 over 6. And that's what they wanted. So that was part 1, section B. Now we're going to part 2, section B. So item 5 says, Mr. Ranyaga, the head of mathematics department, organized a mathematics study trip to Namavi, where assembling of Toyota vehicles and manufacturing of Coca-Cola products are done. His report to the members of the department shows that the cost of hiring a school bus is Kenya shillings 4,500 for the first 100 kilometers. Beyond the 100 kilometers, the bus charges an additional Kenya shillings of 2,500 for each extra distance of 50 kilometers. As per the Forex Bureau, 1 Kenya shillings is sold at 36 Uganda shillings. The distance between the school and Namave is 500 kilometers. The bus left the school at 8 a.m. and traveled at an average speed of 100 kilometers per hour. They spent 2 hours at the sites and then returned back to school at the same average speed. So task A, as the treasurer of the mathematics department, help Mr. Ranyaga to know the total expenses for the total journey in Uganda shillings. Then task B, by representing the journeys on a suitable graph, explain the motion of the bus to the school administrators. So here we shall come and say, first of all, for the first 100 kilometers, it was Kenya shilling that. Then the extra distance was 500 minus 100 to give you 400 kilometers. And this extra distance, the cost was that 2,500 for every 50 kilometers. Meaning that 1 kilometer was charging 50 Kenya shillings. Therefore, 400 kilometers will charge 20,000 Kenya shillings. So the total cost for transport will be this first one plus this 20 to give you 24,500 Kenya shillings. But they give us an exchange rate that 1 Kenya shillings is equal to 36 Uganda shillings. Therefore, 24,500 Kenya shillings will be 24,500 times 36 to give you 882,000 Ugandan shillings. And that's what they wanted. Then task B, let me see. By representing the journeys on a suitable graph, explain the motion of the bus to the administrators. So there we shall need a graph paper. Then draw the axes. Get a scale for the horizontal. For the horizontal, you need to first get the total time. Total time here, it was distance over speed gives you time for the going outward journey, then 2 hours for the trip while sight, and then 500 over 100 for the return. So a total of 12 hours. So the horizontal scale must be chosen so that the 12 hours can fit. Therefore, I'll come and say 12 divided by 8, which are the number of spaces on the horizontal, to give you 1.5. Then I can use a scale that 2 centimeters represents 2 hours. So let's do that. So that is time in 24-hour clock. Then vertical scale, highest value divided by 10 to give you 50. So 2 centimeters represent 50 kilometers. Okay. Now we can, they told us that the journey is 500. That is why when I reach 500, I'm putting there a line to show that this is now Namave. Then they set off at this and this at 100 kilometers per hour. So it means that every hour it covers 100 kilometers. So I'll put a point there at the start and here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a straight line through these 2 points until I reach Namave. There I stayed at Namave for 2 hours. So I'll need to get an extra 2 hours. Like that, then I can join from here to here. Then from there, I went back to the school, still at the same average speed. So I'll still measure. This is 50, 100. So it's 100. Then this is 1 hour. So I'll put it here. Then I'll join until I reach back to school. So that is a graph. So they want us to explain the motion of the journey. So one, from school to Namanvi, the bus set off at 8 a.m. and moved with uniform speed, you can say uniform or average, of 100 kilometers per hour for 5 hours, reaching Namanvi at 1 p.m. Then the bus rested for 2 hours while the students were still at the site up to 3 p.m. And then from Namanvi to school, the bus set off at 3 p.m. and moved with uniform speed of 100 kilometers per hour for 5 hours, reaching the school at 8 p.m. So basically that's what they wanted. So that was item 5. Now we shall go to item 6. Item 6 says, Mr. Ojok, living in Chitugum, wants to paint the external walls of his room. Okay, the room is 6 feet long, 12 feet wide, and 15 feet high. It has 2 doors, each fixed in the opposite sides of the longest walls, which are 2 meters high and 1 meter wide. The room also has a square window of dimensions 1 meter in one of the other sides of the walls. After a serious talk with the painter, it was agreed that the painter charges shillings 800 per square meter. A tin of 4 liters of paint costs shillings 70,000 and it can paint 10 square meters of the wall. The doors and windows are already painted. Hint, use 1 feet to represent 0.3 meters. Then task A, draw a sketch of Mr. Ojok's room indicating all the dimensions in meters. Okay. Task B, help Mr. Ojok to establish the amount of money needed to paint his room. Then task C, with a reason or reasons, advise him on the suitable color of the paint to use in the room. So first we shall make a sketch, convert to meters. So length was 16 feet, convert to meters to give you that. Width was 12 feet, convert to meters. And height was 15 feet, convert to meters. Then we can now draw. First we shall draw the shape of a cuboid. With length 4.8, width 3.6, and height 4.5. Then we shall put the doors on the longest side, which is that, and also another door on the other side. Then a window on one of the other sides. And basically that is what they wanted in task A. Then task B, they said, help Mr. Ojok to establish the amount of money needed to paint his room. So we need to know the remaining surface area after removing the doors and the window. First, so total surface area of the 4 sides is that length LH and LW times 2, which will give us this. Then the area of the 2 doors is this, and 1 window, which is that. to give you 5 square meter. Then the total surface area of the total surface area to be painted. Remember, these ones were already painted, so I need to remove it off from this to remain with that. Then now for labor, each square meter requires a labor of 800. So this square meter will require labor of this. That is labor. What about paint? Let's first see the score for this slide. Then when it comes to paint, 10 square meter costs shillings 70,000. Therefore 1 square meter costs shillings 7,000, and that will cost shilling that. Therefore the total score will be got by adding to give you 551,040 shillings. Then part C said, with a reason or reasons, advise him on the suitable color of the paint to use in the room. So Mr. Jock should use white to reflect sunlight, and this is because there are high temperatures in Chittagong. And that's what they wanted. So that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and be reminded the next video will now be on physics. So we have been dealing with math, mid-term and end of term. Now we shall start dealing with physics. So if you want to subscribe, please click on the subscribe button below this video so that you can receive updates when the next video has been uploaded. And also, if you know of any student who's not yet on this platform, please share the link of this video with them via social media platforms like Facebook and WhatsApp, so that we can all benefit as a family.